Hello everybody, my name is Kern. I post home recording weekly. A while ago, I found a product that kind of piqued my interest. I know a company, their name is PreSonus. A lot of people know about them. They make fantastic gear for recording, mixing, mastering. In fact, their gear is pushing them to the very top of the list when it comes to mixers, recording interfaces, preamps, recording software. I mean, you name it, they make it, and it's all good quality stuff. Well, recently I saw they're making speakers, monitor speakers, I guess you could call them, but not for the studio, they're for everyday listening. In fact, I reached out, I was, they piqued my interest. They're called the CERES, Ceres. So I asked them if I could review and demo the 4.5 inch, the Ceres 4.5 BT, and that stands for Bluetooth. I'll get to that in a minute. And because I kind of know a couple of the guys that work for PreSonus, they were quick to say no. They said no because, as they said, these aren't for you, dude. These are for people that want to listen to their MP3s, while they work in the background or whatever. They're not for recording, mixing, and mastering. They're not for critical listening. As most of my followers know, monitors are for critical listening, studio monitors. I wrote back, I said, I know, I'm intrigued and I want to review these. So, of course, they agreed after I begged and begged, and now we're going to do that today. Please know, I'm not making anything off this review. I don't have an Amazon. I live in Maine. They pulled the whole Amazon account thing. I got to send these back as soon as I'm done with this video. So they gave them to me for a short period. I've been able to use them in a few different scenarios. And wow, I was told by a friend at PreSonus, these were made from the ground up. They were initially designed to play today's music, MP3s, movies, games, the stuff that's, I want to say overproduced. It's limited, it's loud, and these things sound fantastic. These are the actual speaker. This is the 4.5 inch, and they also make, I think, a 3 or 3.5 inch. The first thing you notice when you pick them up is how rugged they are. There's weight here. These things are solid. They feel great. They look great. They sound great because they designed them to play back MP3s, so they really worked hard on the enclosure dimensions and the ported part of the enclosure, and they really got it right. Now, in the back, there's some fine tuning for highs and lows. They also make a subwoofer, a 10-inch, I think it's called the Tremble or the Trembler. I didn't get it for this review. I just got a pair of the 4.5 inch series. There's an output for the subwoofer. And if you think about it, that's pretty cool because it relieves this small-sized woofer of all the low-end duties. The subwoofer would replicate all the lows, and this just has to concentrate, thanks to a crossover, on the mids and the highs. But let me just say, here's the other one here. If I had one word to define these, I think it would be punchy. If I had two words, it would be everywhere punchy. The first thing I did with these is I put them in our kitchen, and I decided I was going to do the dishes, just a task, and let these play in the background. Just in the background, not really pay attention to them. I hooked up my iPhone, I plugged it in, and I was quite taken. They're punchy, they have a life to them. I think about a speaker company that 10, 15 years ago, they were bragging about their speakers. They had like tubes in them and it was piping sound all around the room. These don't say they do that, but they do that. It filled the kitchen. We have a big, big kitchen. It filled it up with a lot of great punchy sound. The lows are great. They're punchy, they're present. It's not gonna make your heart stop. I mean, these things aren't subwoofers in a club, but you're going to be surprised. These things are great. The highs, I would say they're silky and present, but they're not harsh. They're very crisp. I'm quite pleased with these speakers. The mid-range, It's not hyped and it's not scooped. It's there. Now, they don't sound tinny like too much mid-range. If I had to say if it was either over or under in the mid-range, I'd say probably just a little bit under, but nothing you're gonna notice. I mean, I did lend a critical ear to these because, well, I was reviewing them. These things hook up in a few ways, and they supply, when you buy these, what comes in the box. Of course, the speaker wire, the 120 volt cable, because these have an amp in them. And you also get an 1/8 inch stereo to 2 RCA males, because these hook up, as you can see, RCA. Don't think it's a phono connection, and you guys that record know what that means. It's not. That's just an RCA left and right. You can plug in a laptop, your computer, anything that your iOS device, your iPod, anything that holds music, plays games, videos. Wow, these things are awesome for videos. I've been Huluing through these and watching Netflix through these, and I love these. It actually stinks that I have to mail these back. My wife has grown very fond of these, and I was quite shocked by that because she likes music, but she's not a gear techie head like I am. She really liked how these sounded. So they definitely filled my kitchen with sound on the first night. BT, these are called the 4.5 inch Series BT. There's Bluetooth technology. If you have a device with Bluetooth, which is wireless, it's simple. You hold this button for a few seconds, the light flashes, you find the speakers on your device, and you're rocking and rolling. You can put your phone wherever you want, and you don't even have to hook it up to these speakers. There's more connections. Now, they provided a 1/4 inch input, 2 of them, right here, balanced, tip ring sleeve, TRS, left and right. That was interesting to me, but you know what? You can use your speakers in many ways. These may not excel as studio monitors, but if you want to use them when you're making music, then who is PreSonus to say no you can't? They provided 1/4 inch jack inputs. I mean, you could plug your keyboards in here, you could plug your DAW in here, you can plug anything that makes beats and music in here. Maybe it's not designed for that, but it's gonna make sound, and I think that's cool that they did that. They didn't have to do that, but they did. This is the sub output. This is to hook up the other speaker, which is right here. And like I said, there's a low and a high, you know, maybe your room, the reflections in the room you're in, the lows build up so you can turn them down, or same with the highs. Maybe you got a lot of material in your room, the fabrics of your furniture is soaking up some of the highs. Well, you can turn up the highs if you want, or cut them. I'll tell you what, these things, for the money, I think these retail for, well, I'm not going to say because I'm not sure. It's lower than you think. These things have weight, they're solid, they're extremely well built. There's also an auxiliary in right on the front. If you put these on your desktop, you don't have to keep going to the rear. And I'll tell you what, these have no problem. The 4.5 PreSonus Ceres 4.5 have no problem filling a great big room with a pumping, moving, detailed sound. If you ask me, it's a higher end speaker. That's the sound I got. I don't know how they're gonna sell these, how they're gonna build these. The sound I got was fantastic. I didn't notice any deficiencies. I would like to hear these with the subwoofer, because I probably would not mail these back. I'd probably say, put these on the credit card and we'll call it good. But you know, I got to stand up to my offer. I'm going to mail them back. And I think for my wife, she's going to get a pair of these for Christmas. They're that good. I love them, and they come from a company that has a history of making amazing products that sound fantastic. What more can you say about PreSonus? They've entered the home audio market. Maybe they have for a while and I just didn't know. They've entered the market by storm. They're designing speakers for the exact purpose of playing back today's music with the Ceres line. And I'll tell you what, they've done it. It's amazing. I don't know how they've done it, but they've done it. I can't recommend them enough. Again, I'm not making anything off this. I have to mail these back. My name is Kern. I post home recording weekly. These are the PreSonus Ceres, that's C-E-R-E-S 4.5 BT speakers. Head over to homerecordingweekly.com, type in Ceres or PreSonus into the search tab, and there's a link there with images. I took a lot of images of the back and the front, and there's links to where you can get this and everything over there. And again, it's not Amazon. It takes you right to the manufacturer. All your questions can be answered. I thank you for your time.